Hi guys, Neil at Italia Autos. Welcome back to another video on my channel, another episode on the coupe, and this week we're going to be getting everything finished on the underside of it, stripping it down and getting it ready for some paint. So I've been super busy off camera. I've been putting all the subframe back together and putting brake discs on it. I've put the wheels back on it now. I've bled all the brakes, done everything that needed to be done. So pretty much now we can get the car off the ramp and start doing the bodywork. But unfortunately, we have found some more rust. So really, I should have checked this before, but yeah, my own fault, I didn't check. I've removed the arch liners because I was going to start to prep the rest of the lower areas here to start getting ready for paint. As you can see, I have refitted the subframe. The rear backing plates are still the old ones at the moment. I need to find some more still. Somebody did put a comment on one of the threads that you can buy these, so I'm going to have a look into that for the customer. Rear subframe's all fitted. I've started doing all the brake lines and I'm just making a mess now of all my nice clean work, but it's only dust. It'll all come off before I finish welding. It's only dust. It'll all come off before I finish it. So I have started a bit of work on this here. I did find some holes all the way along here, so I have cut out the outer panel just so I can see what I've got left to work with. And I do need to fill in 2 patches along here. I need to weld in another lip behind the boot lid, and I've also got to weld in another lip all the way down there. So I have been in contact with the customer and we're all okay to go ahead with this. So leave it with me while I repair the welding on this, and hopefully once I've got all that fitted and the fuel tank refitted, I can start prepping the rest of the bodywork. So leave it with me now. I am going to get this welding done. The other side is okay. I will show you that now actually. So yeah, as you can see, the other side, yeah, there's a little bit of crusty bits, but nowhere near as bad as the other side. It just so happens that the driver's side was the side that spent many years sitting against a bush and a wall, so that would explain why it's worse on the driver's side than the passenger side. So leave me to it now. I'm going to crack on and get this welding finished, and then hopefully we can get the fuel tank fitted. Right, re-welded this part here, and we are looking good to go. We can now weld the part on the outside. I've also welded a little bit in here as well. I do need to finish this side off because we've got a little bit more rust behind there to get rid of. But this side is pretty much good to go. There we go, we are all done now. Both parts have been welded in. It's not going to be the most tidiest of jobs because it's going to be hidden behind an arch liner. All the rust is now gone. I've even spot welded the 2 parts that I've put in together, so we can now put some seam sealer all the way underneath it and it shouldn't cause us any more problems. So I have been a very busy boy off camera. I have completed the subframe, put it all back together with new brake pipes, new suspension, new springs, new discs and pads. I am in the process of sorting out the fuel tank straps, and that can be put on, so that is really the last job I need to do before it can come off the ramp. All the underside has been rust treated. One last bit left to do, which I forgot to do, but everything on the underside is all now totally rust free. If you did notice, we are still missing the exhaust. I have ordered a new one. That should be here sometime mid to end of January. So then we can get that fitted. So that piece of rust can go in the bin. I also need to order some new number plates for it, but that's a way off yet because we need to finish everything else first. So all the hard work is now done. We can just start prettifying it now. So let's get it off the ramp and start stripping it down. Right, let's get stripping it down now. So what I've got to do, I've got to take the headlights off, front badge off, the wipers, the scuttle panel beneath it. I've got to take off the wing mirrors. I've got to take off the indicators. I may take off those front wings. I've got to take the rear badge off. I've got to take the door handle off. I've got to take the lower window seal trim off. Got to take the boot lid off. Got to take the rear lights off, the rear badge, the rear lock, and the fuel filler flap. And that is, I think, all we've got to take off. So I'm going to get cracking on that now. So enjoy the montage of me stripping the car down. there we go. No particular massive problem stripping all that down. The only snap bolt I had was a 10mm bolt on the bottom of one of the wings, but I can get in and drill that out. That's not a problem. So what I need to do now is mark a lot of the dents up that I can see by eye, so I can start working on those. Right, I haven't got another paint pen, so I'm going to mark them with masking tape and then sand them one by one. A lot of the others will become apparent with the way you sand it down with a long block and a little bit of black paint over the primer, and you will see a lot more of the dents. Now we had got that rather large dent here. I'm sure there's plenty on the doors. We'll see those more when I sand it all down. Now there is another long one along there. Now I know there's quite a few on this door as well, so I will do those when I've got a little bit more light. It would be nice if we had a few warm days in January so I could get outside in the sun and see the dents a little bit easier. There's one down there. Now I always see pretty much every Fiat coupe I've ever owned, seen, saw has got some form of dent along the front lip of the bonnet. I reckon it's probably because there's not much actually to the front end, and guaranteed that'll be the first thing you'll bump into when you're parking. Let's have a look at the roof. I think we're all good there. Now I've covered the hole for the fuel so we don't get any more bits in there. We've got a little bit of rust in here which will need sorting out. I knew I would do some marks over here when I was removing it because it is pretty much well and truly stuck in normally. So I am going to have to sand these back. But other than that, I've had no major nasty surprises. We do have some paint peeling here and a bit of rust. So that is going to be an extra bit I'm going to have to paint because I wasn't going to do inside the door shuts. So we'll have to let Mr. Customer know about that there. Here he's okay. So what I'll probably end up doing is masking around the boot lid, getting these stuck down there so I can paint all underneath there. The light caps are going to stay in. If you put your fan pattern when you're painting on quite a low pattern, small pattern, you can get in there and paint them okay. Last time I did them I did manage to get a run, so I will be extra careful when I'm doing that. We've got all around the arches to get back to bare metal and remove every single scrap of rust. Rust treat it, flat it back down again, get some light coat of probably just a filler putty on there, not an actual filler, and then that should be good to go. Find the rest of the dents on both the doors and the rear quarters when I can see a little bit better, and I can see one now. Did you see that? There is one here. You do have a little bit of lacquer peel coming on the bonnet as well, just there. So what's to be done now? All these parts I've marked up. I am just going to give them a quick 240 sand so I can see them a bit easier. Then I'm going to get the car outside, give it a wash, degrease it, get rid of all the contaminants and everything off there that could react when I'm painting or putting primer down. Get the bodywork nice and clean, prep it all up, so get it dirty again and dusty again, and then I'll give it another wash, let it thoroughly dry, mask it all up, and then we can put some primer on it. This is where I had the one bolt break, but also as you can see there's rust under here, so it is quite a good job that I did take these wings off to paint them. A lot of people would leave these on, but good job I removed that, so I'm going to have to drill that. I am going to have to remove all the rust, get this up here behind the door so it doesn't go missing. And yes, I am going to be removing the Fiat badge as well, but I'll be doing that a bit later. There we go, guys. Hopefully you have enjoyed this episode. We will leave this one here because I've got quite a bit done. So join me in a few weeks for the next episode, and hopefully we can get the car in primer. See you soon. Thanks for watching.